The Fortnite storyline is back. After almost 4 years of, we did it, we saved Peely, thank you, we've had our first proper live event in ages, and Chapter 7 seems to be basically fully focused on the Fortnite storyline. I mean, sure, sometimes Fortnite would have seasons where they would focus on the storyline a bit more than other seasons, you know, like Chapter 5 Season 3, Chapter 6 Season 3, The Simpsons season, but we haven't had anything like we used to get, you know, like in Chapter 2 Season 7 or Chapter 3 Season 2. That is until now. I don't want to speak too soon, but Fortnite could potentially be going back to how they used to do their storylines. Continuous story quests, cutscenes, and live events every now and again. I mean, Chapter 6 was so close to doing this. The only problem with Chapter 6 was consistency. I mean, we had story quests, but they didn't always have voice lines, or they didn't always release consistently, or they weren't always good, shocking awesome. Take the Simpsons season, for example. There were tons of voice lines from Hope, Marge, Homer, Jones, and a few other characters, but throughout Chapter 6, I think the only guy that had a voice line outside of a live event was literally that one henchman from Chapter 6 Season 2 audio logs. I cannot think of anyone else. Chapter 6 would also occasionally have cutscenes, and by occasionally, I mean once. The only storyline cutscene we had in Chapter 6 was when Daigo entered the Spirit Realm and got corrupted at the end of Chapter 6 Season 2. Sure, the Simpsons season did have their weekly cutscene storyline things, but I don't really count those because they were most likely made by the Simpsons team and not the Fortnite team. And Chapter 6 has probably been the most live event rich chapter since Chapter 2. I mean, in Chapter 6 alone, we had the Mariah Carey thing, Shogun X vs Daigo, that repeatable event where Daigo would enter the Spirit Realm, the Death Star sabotage, the Super Showdown, the Simpsons event, and of course, the Chapter 6 finale. And that's not even thinking about all the OG events like the Meteor, or the Rocket event, or the Cube spawning, or the Cube sinking, or the Cube exploding. There was a lot of cubes. And I know the community was kind of disappointed by a few of the live events. My personal favorite was Shogun X vs Daigo and the Chapter 6 finale, of course. But if the Chapter 6 finale is anything to go by, and if that's what's the setting to standard for events going forward, then I think we have a lot to look forward to. And no, I'm not stupid. I'm not expecting a huge big live event every season. No, I just do what Chapter 6 did. Give us 2 big live events throughout the year with 1 or 2 mini events scattered throughout. As long as Fortnite do a good job of communicating which events are mini events and which are long events and whatnot, then I have no problem with anything. Also, please don't just have characters show up as NPCs Fortnite. If like, for example, the Foundation turns up, don't spawn him in as an NPC and that was his big grand return. Like, no, hype it up a bit, please. I don't want to spawn in one day and just see the Foundation sat at, like, in Loop Labs and you go to speak to him and he's like, I'm back. No. But I don't know about you guys, but there's just so much lore for, I mean, 0 Hour and Chapter 7 as a whole that I don't know if I'll be able to handle it all myself, which is why I called in for backup. Today, Fortnite storyline YouTuber CO is joining us to help us decipher the lore of 0 Hour and to help us understand what is going to happen in the rest of Chapter 7. But first, if you do enjoy today's video, be sure to subscribe and use code BigCraigd in the Fortnite item shop, or you become a channel member like the Helper Craigs who pay 99p a month for a shout out, or if you want more, you become a TheBigCraigd who get a shout out and exclusive videos. For example, the nearly unedited video of me and CO's Fortnite lore discussion, and of course his Talk to Me exclusive episode where I interview him as a content creator and just get some insight into making content. Anyway, let's go see what he's up to. I have gathered the best storyline creator I know, CO, who's going to walk us through some of the grey areas of the Fortnite 0 Hour experience, and we're gonna get to the bottom of this, aren't we, CO?
Yes, indeed, we are.
Okie dokie. So, question number 1. We're just gonna cut it straight. What are your thoughts on the event?
It was so much better than I expected. I thought it was absolutely amazing, and just epic games cooked. It was a lot like Avengers Endgame, but it was one of the first live events where everyone in Fortnite just gets together and defeats a threat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fact that it's all still focused on Chapter 6 as well is amazing.
That was...
One complaint. Daigo should have done something.
Okay, true. He was there, but he didn't do any. Was he there? That was Daigo, right? That was Daigo.
That was Daigo and JD.
Yeah. He was there, but he should have done something, I think. If it was just like a small moment, probably. That would have been good. You're right about that, actually, yeah. Okay. I'm not gonna... more of my favorite part. Actually, I'm gonna say my favorite part. It's the part I screamed the most at. I won't lie. I screamed in this event. I haven't screamed over Fortnite in a few years, but the part I screamed the most over was the Mecha Team Leader. So...
Ooh.
I'm a bit confused about that. And I think a lot of people are going to be confused as well. Who exactly do you think was piloting the mech?
I have 2 theories for this.
Okay.
Number 1, no one is. Literally just no one. And Hope is saying, who's piloting that just for like, I don't know, just for like no reason. I don't know, it's a bit of a dumb theory, but my second theory is that but to be fair, the only person who really can pilot that mech was the Paradigm. Either her or the Visitor, new OG Visitor.
You know what I think? I think it was the Aura.
No. Oh, actually, maybe.
Because...
In the audio logs, we know that the Order was snooping around the island after everyone left. Reality 783.
Oh, really?
You have listened to them, right?
I briefly. I was just
Yeah.
skimming. I was skimming mostly so I could listen to them in game. I was just looking for keywords like the scientist, and then I like pogged, and then I logged off.
I mean, to be fair, you might be right, but I think if the Order was there, she would have been sent to Chapter 7 with us. As we know right now, she is still left behind
Well,
on Inoshima.
yeah, that's true. I don't. It could be the Foundation.
True that, and the Foundation is set to return very soon as well.
I'm so confused of how this is all going to end up going, because I'm pretty sure season 1 is just going to be entirely build up. I'm pretty sure that's all it's going to be, which I don't actually have a problem with. Actually, I'm okay with that, to be honest.
There will be a live event in the season 1 season. It's some Kill Bill live event, like a mini event.
Right.
I don't know when that is happening, but it turns out that from tomorrow and March the 4th, which is when season 1 ends.
Yeah.
You know that ship we saw, that last reality ship?
Yeah, the Cradle.
That wasn't. I know that was not the Cube's Cradle.
That was the
Cradle was very large.
That was the
No.
Cube Cradle. Come on.
No, trust me, that was not.
Okay, you were right. The Cube Cradle was a lot bigger, but it was like
Yeah, and it's different color as well.
the color
This
was
is a
something.
new
It doesn't have like those teeth that the original one had. I was thinking about that. I was wondering, you know what? It could just be a design choice. You know, they could have just decided to change it.
True that. But
Why would they use a ship that looks basic to your average person exactly the same?
Because I think Epic are trying to play with us again. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that is just too small for the Cradle. Like, you might be right. It could be a rework of the Cube's Cradle itself, but right now I am not gonna think that.
We're gonna move on from the mech for a second. Well, and the Cradle, I suppose. We're gonna talk about. You saw the Devourer, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I think
the Polar Big Monster.
that. What the hell was that?
I just think it was for the. I just think it was for the little detail. Honestly, I mean, at the beginning of the event, not Hope, but Jones did just try to connect to anyone he could to help, and well, the Polar Peak Monster was available. So, the Devourer. Sorry, my bad. But no, I mean they're the same thing. But
well,
I just. Yeah.
I don't think they would have done that without a reason. I don't think it's the same one. Because it can't be. There's no.
Oh, it died in chapter 3, didn't it?
It died in chapter 1.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah. Sorry.
Bro, he's a fraud.
I just remember. I just remember that one skeleton POI in chapter 3. I forgot about the one in chapter 1. My bad. But yeah, you might be right. I don't think it is the same one. Unless no, I don't think it is the same one either.
Well. Unless Jones quite literally has time travel, which he used to. We know he used to. But unless he still has time travel, there is no window in which he could have taken the Devourer. None. If OG was in like season 9, then I'd say maybe he took it for a second and then put it back. But that's not what happened. We're in season 6 still, so I'm confused. It could be like the same species of Devourer, like or whatever it is. I'm not sure.
Steve Danusa, the new writer, he started in chapter 6.
Oh.
He wrote like the Daigo storyline.
Mm-hmm.
This is him. He's still on the job and he is still cooking.
We had a conversation about that in the lost tapes, didn't we? About how
yes.
This new guy, yeah. So we should discuss a character that, or at least a few characters that before this point they were presumed dead or chromed or whatever. However, it seems a lot more of them escaped than we initially thought. We'll work down the list, obviously with the biggest, the Order.
I'm gonna explain the Foundation as well, actually.
Okay.
Because the Order and the Foundation, they got the same fate, and I'm being really specific here. We're back in.
They died off screen.
Yes, they did, and their items were left behind. Yes, I do still think they were taken by the Nothing somehow. I don't know. I just have a theory that they got chromed differently compared to the others, like, you know, the scientist, Origin.
I mean, we know you can escape because the Visitor, we saw him. He's the only one we saw get chromed and come back. So we know that you can escape him. They update in that the recap trailer, which I want to talk about as well. That is so good. I'm so happy that they did that. So they actually proved some of the canon. That was really good. That they kind of they actually they had Jones and everything actually explain the canon and what actually happened in certain, especially for the Big Bang, where it's nobody quite knows what exactly happened in that event. It was really good to actually just see what actually happened. But Also in that trailer, when they showed Geno in the collision event, for some reason they updated the visual. His eyes are different. They're like a slightly different color. They're like more yellow. They're like more. They look more like the Chapter 7 yellow than like the kind of weird orange they were before. It's really weird.
Out of every single frame from that trailer or that video on YouTube, they decided to use the Geno one for the thumbnail.
Yeah,
Now that could just be because it's got Jones and Foundation who are relevant for Chapter 7, but what does mess this up a little bit though is that if they did really want to tease at Geno, they would place Geno in the middle. And don't get me wrong, Geno is close to the middle in that image, but he's slightly leaning towards the right.
Who is the Eternal Voyager? Like, is this not the same one that died in Batman Fortnite 0 Point?
Yeah, it could be, but if it's from Reality Redacted, then I think it's going to be someone different. Can I be completely honest with you, Craig? This also confuses me as well. I was honestly expecting it to be some member of the Seven. But them being Eternal Voyager, it does confuse quite a few things. It seems that right now, the last reality has invaded a redacted reality, and they found a version of Eternal Voyager there, probably a bad version of him.
Would it not make more sense to call the Eternal Voyager Reality Unknown instead of Reality Redacted? Because Eternal Voyager, when he jumped into the 0 Point in Batman Fortnite 0 Point, he was spread out to every reality, the same that happened to Geno, right?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
I mean, Eternal Voyager already was kind of like a magical character, if you remember, because he was a skull man. Yeah. I don't know what I think. It's weird. But Agent Jones in the NPC dialogues called him a herald. Jones also refers to a event that I don't think has actually happened. He explains that he took up vengeance because he got scared and ran away from a fight, and that is why they lost something. And I have a small idea of what he could be talking about, but I'm also a bit like, what are you talking about here, Jones?
What exactly did he say again? What, he lost the fight?
I can see if I can find it. A while ago, faced with an overwhelming evil force, I didn't fight. To save everything, and I mean everything, I ran. And then he says, I thought that was it. I lost my chance, but I can feel it on the wind. And then he says, maybe I'll get a second shot at the vengeance I deserve. And then he says, whoever or whatever this Dark Voyager is, I don't trust it. And then something about him reminds me of an enemy I faced a long time ago on a different island. That's what he says about that.
Trying to use my brain here. I think this person he fought, I haven't even actually read the dialogue, but by what you're saying, I think the person he fought, I think it definitely was like some higher up of the last reality.
Here's what I think. I read this on Twitter. I thought, oh my god, that explains everything. Would this not be the Chapter 3 finale?
The Chapter 3 finale?
Where Jones was in the story quest the whole time. He was there, and then he disappeared, and we never saw him ever again until the downtime screen, where he was really far away from the island on like a random like place. Then we didn't see him for another year until he landed on the Chapter 4 map. Someone said that maybe he got scared of the last reality in the Chrome and he genuinely just ran away at the end of Chapter 3, which kind of would explain where he went, because that was one of my biggest issues. I was like, brother, where have you been?
You could be right, actually, about that.
I think I would really like that if that's what it was. Because then when he came back, he was Vengeance Jones as well.
No, but you need to remember, he came back earlier in Chapter 4.
Yes, but he didn't have a new skin at that point. They were waiting until Chapter 5. And you can't really... I don't think you can really trust the skins that they're using. Because, for example, we had Heroic Hope and Jonesy the First. Then we got Shadowblade Hope and Jonesy the Second. It's really weird.
Can I be completely honest with you? I love the theory, and I think it may be correct. But I would be disappointed if it is. They should... I think instead it could have built up for a much larger and a much more cooler, with so much more potential villain of the last reality.
See, I don't think so. I can't see in my little timeline here where that would ever fit in. It is, I think, plausibly, I think that's genuinely the only one it could be. I can't think of any other like time frame where Jones' beam is just gone. There is a landmark in the game right now that is called Signs of the Seven.
It's got it. I think if there's anyone, it'd be the Foundation.
I really hope it's not. I don't like the idea that the Foundation is just going to appear as an NPC in the middle of the season, like Agent Jones did in Chapter 4.
We don't know. He might have voice lines.
No, I don't. I need a cutscene. I need him to, or like an event or something. He can't just appear.
We might get that, bro.
I hope, because if he just appears back again like Agent Jones did in Chapter 4, I'm gonna.
Yeah, but Chapter 4 is a different story.
Yeah. I know, but he feels like he shouldn't. The Imagine's dead. The Order at the moment is normal. The Foundation is presumed normal if they're using the old NPC. The Visitor seems normal, but he's somewhere else. So that means the Scientist and the Origin are the only ones that are chromed. And I think the Origin, fair enough. But I think they need like the Foundation to be the big villain. I think they need Foundation to be more of like a looming like threat instead of like it's been 4 years but he's back now kind of situation.
I still think the Scientist will come back eventually.
No, he will.
As the general.
That would be cool. You know we're going to be working for the Dark Voyager, right?
We are?
Yes, we have to go hunt down the 7 for him, I think.
You're lying. Where is this?
No. There's a quest from the Dark Voyager that says search for signs of the 7.
Interrogate witnesses about the 0-point shards, hunt down signs of the 7. Yes, indeed. Okay. It will be the Voyager leading us through the quests.
Yes. Peculiar. And I guess that's how we find the Order's logs, maybe? And...
Craig, let me interview you for a bit.
Okay.
What was personally your favorite? It's like a quick fire interview. What was your favorite moment of the 0 hour?
I can't quick fire this. I don't know. I liked the part where we all started running towards the Dark Presence. That was good. I liked when the cube showed up. I liked when Mecha Team Leader like football kicked the cube. I liked that the Dark Presence was like trying everything in it. I liked that the cube obeyed like the physics of the cube. How like the Dark Presence shot a laser beam at it, and the cube did that thing where it would like damage you, but it did like a really big beam or whatever. And then the Dark Presence was like, "Oh no, let me put King Kong in front of it." Like that, I just thought that was really funny for some reason. But I also liked when the map went back to normal. I really enjoyed that actually. I don't know. I liked really all of it.
Who's your favorite Chapter 7 Battle Pass skin so far?
The Eternal Voyager, man. Come on.
Fair enough. Okay. What was your reaction when Benson Boone started playing in that one trailer?
Benson Boone? Who is Benson Boone?
Moonbeam Ice Cream.
Oh, the cinematic one where he's like...
Yeah. The
I've never heard it before in my life, but it sounds nice. So I was like, oh, that's cool.
How have you never heard that song before?
I haven't heard of most things. Most of my everything comes from Fortnite. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
Do you not like use TikTok or Instagram or anything like that?
I do, but I think you'll find that I'm just very out of the loop in terms of everything. It seems like after the 0 point kind of what was it, like shattered and all the 0 point shards went into different realities, that's kind of what made all these maps, because we've got the loop was only in one place before, but now it's in Chapter 5, it's in OG, it's in Blitz, it's in Reload, it's in Chapter 6. So I genuinely just think that there's just a bunch of places that have basically been infected by the 0 point that has kind of just turned it into a loop. And I guess that means Chapter 6 has just literally been saved from the loop, I guess?
Speaking of Chapter 6, I just got a YouTube notification saying my entire 0 hour stream was completely just demonetized.
Oof.
Crime biome. It was one of my favorite biomes of all time.
See, this is where things are gonna get violent in a minute, because I really don't like it. I thought it was just a bit ugly. I thought it was too desaturated.
How? That okay? I can't really argue with you on that, can I? But like, and I just thought it was the most aesthetically pleasing biome on the Chapter 6 island, and I would take it. I would rather take that than Nightshift Forest.
Ooh!
I know.
Ooh! Yeah, I don't agree. Nightshift Forest is one of my favorite POIs, just of all time.
That is a hill I would die on.
Why? It made the map look so much like less interesting.
No, I know. No, I disagree.
It like
I disagree.
it's like if the Haunted Hills part of chapter 1 covered like a quarter of the map, and it was like brown. It was like more brown than it actually was. And it was just a bit like, I just don't like it personally. I really didn't like it. Plus the POIs
No, but
there weren't amazing. I don't know.
Crime City was like the best POI.
It was, but coming from someone who played, basically, I played on my computer until I think it was the end of season 3. So dropping into Crime City was awful. My FPS would be demolished. It was terrible. I couldn't go there. I genuinely couldn't go.
But the same would have been for season 3, right? When you would drop into like Utopia City.
No. Utopia City was perfectly fine. Well, after that like 1 day period where they needed to like update the shaders or whatever, it was perfectly fine. I had no problems.
Looking back, the launch of Chapter 6 Season 3, that was probably one of the smoothest things ever. The biggest live event since a long time.
Yeah.
Death Star Sabotage. About an hour later, they just swiftly release a massive season.
It was not
No
an hour.
problems whatsoever.
No. It wasn't that early.
Fine, 2 hours then.
No. I remember
It
this
was.
happening. I remember this happening because I remember it was the event was such a stressful time because I was on holiday. I came back to my house to record the event, and then I left, and then I came back the next day to record the season. It was like 4 or 5. It was like 3 a.m. or something that the season came out. It was not that quick. It was like the same amount of time
Alright,
this one
no.
was. Genuinely.
Trust me.
I remember
Mum's
everything.
life.
No, I
Mum
think
look-
the update
Tell me
came
about
out, but I
Mum's
don't
life.
think the servers went up for like
No,
a while.
I remember they did. Maybe it came out maybe at like 12, maybe midnight, but it was not anywhere later than 1 a.m. And I remember that for a fact.
Well, I'm not. I can't find the time, but it's. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree. So yeah, I am.
It's a fact. 'Cause I remember streaming it with Rising FX at like midnight. I remember.
We'll agree to disagree, but I will agree with you on one thing. I have just looked back at the cube cradle thing. That is 100% a different one. There is not a lick of
Yes.
purple on that. Yeah. I don't know what it could be though. Why?
It's a different ship, bro.
Yeah, but like why would they make it look the same? To a degree. I think they should have made it like a rhombus or something. I don't know. Like not many people are gonna realize that it's not the same. But I don't know.
What did you think about Steeler Brain Rot being in the event?
Well, when I saw that it got leaked for the event, I was like, oh, for God's sake. But then when I saw it in the event, I was like, that's kind of funny actually. It was literally just in the background, like a little nod. I think for the video's sake, I think we gotta wrap this portion up here. And then I have to get to the actual interview now. Otherwise, this is gonna go on forever. So
Yeah, this went on for a long time.
It is. It was only supposed to be like 10 minutes. So I will wrap this up. CEO, what are your thoughts
Hello.
on Chapter 7?
Well, I mean, it looks insane, and I cannot wait to play it.
Great. Me neither. This is the most excited I've been for a chapter since Chapter 3's launch. I won't lie. And I was loving Chapter 3. Okay. So thank you very much, CEO, for entertaining us and
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for doing it with me again as well. Well, and and teaching us all about the storyline a little bit, and maybe just a bit about ourselves.
Yes, indeed. We did go off track a lot.
I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 6 questions. That was so, anyway.
We managed to. We answered them all right though.
Oh, we did good. Even I got interviewed a bit, which is a bit crazy. But so that's it for this part. If you want to hear more from CEO, then you could become a TurboCraig for $2.99 a month to gain access to his exclusive Talk to Me episode, where we will interview him about his content. Okay.
Yay!
See you there. Goodbye.